Okay, welcome back to the podcast. My name's Daniel.
I'm AJ.
This is No Decorum.
And today,
let's talk about riots. So Wednesday was a pretty eventful day. We had some peaceful protesters, march on the Capitol.
These were God-fearing, freedom-loving, Constitution-obeying people.
That's right. That's right. Lawfully protesting what they see to be as a stolen election.
They were chanting USA, USA, USA. At the same time, they were trying to destroy USA. So they were just happy to be there. Actually, this was a field trip for them.
Yeah, a bit of a field trip.
Yeah. They had never been there before, so they were
more of a hands-on field trip, a really engaging field trip, right?
Yeah, they really wanted to feel what is it like to be free,
what it's like to steal a podium from the Capitol building, and what it felt like to sit in the speaker's chair.
Yeah,
to wield that kind of power.
Yeah,
I understand. It's intoxicating, that kind of power.
Yeah.
So
obviously this is a little bit of tongue-in-cheek in there, but
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So a pretty serious day. I mean, it was an invasion. It was an insurrection. It was, call it whatever you'd like, but it was an attack on democracy, attack on America. And it was all because, this petulant president couldn't accept that he lost an election.
Yeah, I mean, it was all about his ego. He earlier in the day, he told the same crowd that, we're never going to accept this result, and we're going to march down the street and protest.
That he would march with him.
And that he was going to be there with them, but he was nowhere to be. He was hiding.
Well,
he was in his bunker he eating was Big Macs.
there in spirit, while his zombie cult horde marched on the Capitol and caused all kinds of damage. People died.
I mean, while Congress men and women were inside and
certifying the election.
Yeah, trying to certify an election for Joe Biden.
Right.
And which these people did not want to believe that he's elected as the next president of the United States. So,
of course not. It's interesting that they've accepted every other election, right? They accepted 2016, right? 2012. You didn't see these kinds of protests. That it was that it wasn't illegal in that sense. So what happened, right? What was the difference in this election?
Well, it was because their FIRA was defeated.
That's right. And he primed them to believe it would be stolen.
Yeah, I mean, he had been saying this since this election cycle began, and that if he wins, he will accept the results. If he loses, then it was rigged.
If we look back to 2016, I mean, he was already saying it back then, that even though, or after he'd won, he said it was a rigged election.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even want to accept his own win.
No. 3 million votes cast illegally.
Yeah.
He formed a commission headed by Chris Kobach, and they found nothing. In fact, they found so little that a judge disbanded the whole commission. So
yeah.
But this is what he does.
Actually, didn't Hillary lead went up on the general elections?
They probably did. I didn't know if that's the case or not. Yeah. Well, that happened somewhere else. Where did that happen this last time?
It happened in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin, they counted again, and
they counted.
Biden had more votes.
Yeah, he had 500 more.
So, yeah, this is just the rantings and ravings of a lunatic president who can't accept that he's not loved by everybody, and the cult that follows him blindly. It's a really unhealthy, state of affairs.
I mean, there are 76 million people that voted for him. Yeah. So his cult it's pretty big.
It's so big that it's probably now a religion. You know, I don't know if you can call it a cult anymore.
No, I mean it could be. It could be religion. It could be Trumpism.
Yeah, he's their golden calf.
Yeah.
So they invade the Capitol. They destroy property. And
they were breaking windows,
stealing.
Stealing Nancy Pelosi's mail.
Yep, taking selfies with some police officers.
These police officers was just trying to protect their citizens.
Yeah, maybe he wanted to post on Instagram also. It's hard to say. It's a pretty eventful day. Look, it's historic. And of course, you want to be part of that. You want to photograph to commemorate. But yeah,
it is historic because it has only happened twice in U.S. history.
The last time was 1814.
Yeah,
right?
And at that time it was a foreign power that did that.
And now it's domestic,
our own people.
So you saw people carrying Confederate flags in the halls of Congress.
Yep.
The flag of the losers of that war, the Civil War.
Yep.
A flag that never made it there up until this point.
Yep. Yeah. So the generals of Civil War are probably rolling over in their grave and saying they finally got what they wanted.
Is this all it took?
Yeah.
You had people removing the U.S. flag and replacing it with the Trump flag.
The Trump flag, and also wasn't a Confederate flag also was put up?
It probably was. Sure it was. You see, they really value the flag. So you do wonder what conservatives say now. That when they say that Colin Kaepernick wasn't respecting the flag when he was kneeling during the national anthem. Well, let's see if they talk about this. Taking it down or put a Trump flag up.
Confederate flag. He was a little bit darker than these people, so
he's a little darker. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
so
true. This group was consisted of Proud Boys, Confederate flag wavers, Nazis. And it's a lot of good.
These were all upstanding citizens of the United States. These are all. They have good intentions.
Sure. Yeah. The intention is to, overturn a lawful election.
Yeah.
And keep their Führer in power. Which is the problem.
They were fighting for their president, and they just didn't want to believe the elections were fair and balanced.
Like Fox News, right? Yeah, so...
Even though Fox News has called this election for Biden.
Yeah. And now so has Lindsey Graham, and so has, Mike Pence. So it is official. It is certified. There is no way.
It is certified, except for Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley.
Yeah, those two winners. So, the interesting about those two, it's clear what their motivation is, right? They are political opportunists. They both have ambitions for the White House, or the presidency. And they're trying to, stoke, fear and doubt, trying to, curry favor with these monsters so that they might, vote them into office at some point, maybe 2024. We know that while this was going down, either them or their campaigns were sending out fundraising emails to people while people were invading the Capitol.
Well, they just didn't believe it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They were probably thinking these people were bringing them cupcakes or something.
It's possible. You get. You never know what's going on in the heads of these two senators.
Yeah, they cannot just sit there and do nothing. They have to get money from somewhere.
Yeah, very good point.
And that was a perfect time to send out email to their supporters saying, look what we have done. We have done exactly what you had asked for us. You asked us to destroy the United States, and we almost did.
Yep.
So can you pay us now?
Please. In the midst of the rioting, Josh Hawley giving a fist pump in the air.
Yeah.
Condoning that behavior. So it's what it is. It's opportunism at its worst. I don't think there'll be a political price to pay for it. I also don't think they'll be rewarded for it either. I don't think either one of them have any chance of being president, but they'll maybe retain their seats for a while longer. Who knows?
Well, we know Ted Cruz was elected in 2018, so he's okay for another 4 years.
Sure.
He may. There is some pressure from people for him to resign, which I doubt that he's going to do that.
No, I'm certain he's not going to resign.
Yeah, he's not going to resign.
Unless he's removed forcibly by Congress. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and we know Democrats do not have that kind of power.
No.
Even though they're in the majority.
Yep, they don't have that kind of power. Well, you have to have a majority in the Senate as well, right?
Yeah, I think you have to have majority in the Senate, but the same Republicans are not going to back the Democrats to support this idea. So
Nope.
he's probably safe for another 4 years.
Yeah, I suspect
sure.
he's pretty safe.
Yeah.
So nothing, no political price to pay yet. Josh Hawley, on the other hand, he has paid something of a price. He was publishing a book with Simon & Schuster, and they've since canceled their contract with him because obviously he's reprehensible, and they didn't want to be associated with someone like that.
Why didn't they want to support such a wonderful person? I mean, he is fighting for people's for his state. I mean, he was fighting for their right to be heard.
Well, he's fighting for the zombies of his state. I don't think zombies are. Yeah, so I don't know that that's the way they see it. And, it's a right? It's the free market, which is what they always tout. It's not cancel culture.
So you're saying free market has come back to bite him?
It has. It has, which is well within the right. So now he'll have to self-publish or not publish at all. I don't think anybody really cares.
I don't. I mean, he has a right to form his own publishing company.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, I'm sure he has money and publish his own book if he wants to. Get a printing press. Do it online. People do it online now. So
Pull himself up by his bootstraps?
yeah.
Absolutely. And we support it.
Yeah. Stop crying, Josh.
It's all right, buddy. You'll be
Yeah,
all right. You're gonna
we
be just
know
fine.
you went to Yale, but we know that you're not that weak.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
You'll figure it out. So
Personally, I think you should just go away.
yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Maybe Claire McCaskill can run for a seat again. You know what, Josh? Stay where you are.
Yeah.
So his mentor, I think, Jack Danforth, he was a U.S. Senator. He said it was the worst mistake of his life supporting Josh Hawley. That should tell you something right there.
Well, if these people only give a little bit of thought of before supporting, he may have supported him for his ideas at that time.
Yeah, he's probably sane back then.
Yeah, but they don't realize that these people are not really going there to work for the people. Actually, they're just there so that they can get to the next step.
Yep.
And this guy is very ambitious. He was a Missouri State Attorney General.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he became a U.S. Senator.
By defeating an incumbent.
Yeah. So he thinks that he's probably very smart, and whatever is coming out of his mouth is gospel. And basically what, as they say, you're drowning in your own doo-doo.
Yep, that's right. And we talked about, in a previous episode that if someone like Trump, but smarter, were to run for president, it might be a problem because he would be able to, execute more of his policies. Josh Hawley's a fairly smart guy, and he's he seems to be somewhat of a populist. You know, he was for the $2,000 stimulus checks. So he seems to have that combination. The only problem is he's just not likable. He's not charismatic. So
I mean,
misses that part of it.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good on camera.
Yep.
I mean, he's got the perfect hair and the hide and obviously the color.
So that Mitt Romney, but
yeah, it's Mitt Romney Jr.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not all there is. You know.
Yeah.
You've got to inspire people, and I don't think pumping your fist in the air as people are destroying the Capitol is the best way to get a lot of donors. But we'll see.
Talk about pumping your fist and people storming the Capitol. What do you think would happen if these people were not white and they were either black or they were brown or in other words, they were Muslims? What do you think would happen to these people?
Well, I'm going to quote a friend of the show, Joe Scarborough.
Okay, because they are white? I just have to ask.
Oh, my God. Please.
Because
please. No,
I don't think this would have happened with Black Lives Matters protesters.
Let me tell you something. We don't have to even go there. If these insurrectionists were black, they would have been shot in the face. And my God, if these insurrectionists were Muslim, they would have been sniped from the top of buildings. So I want to know from the Capitol Hill police, what is it? Is it just white people? Or is it Donald Trump supporters? Why do you scream at people for walking across the street 3 blocks away from the Capitol? Why are you known as badasses around the Capitol? But then Trump supporters come in and you open the fucking doors for them.
Okay.
Who said that if they had been Black Lives Matter, they'd been shot in the face. And if they had been Muslim, they would have been sniped from the rooftops. So I think that's very accurate. And I think we've seen it before. And we've seen what happens when you're peacefully protesting. We saw it in Washington when Trump wanted to get that, I don't know what that was, that little...
he did, and
that photo op.
Yeah, photo op that
when they held the Bible upside down.
Yeah.
Now, those guys are peacefully protesting, and they were tear gassed. So we saw how they were treated.
Yep.
Obviously, these people were more sympathetic to these people for whatever reason. I hate to speculate, but police were taking selfies, and they were opening doors for them.
Yeah, I mean, I believe these people would not been called protesters. They would have been called
terrorists,
mm-hmm. thugs,
yep,
criminals,
mm-hmm.
and they would have said this is an assault on democracy,
right?
And we should go in there and take care of business. Should go in there and
with the military,
basically, yeah,
guns blazing.
Trump would have been calling the military.
That's right.
Calling in F-35s to bomb these people.
But they had a certain privilege that allowed them to get as far as they did with very little repercussions so far.
Well, we know, I mean, because these people went home.
That's right.
Some of them, they have started arresting some of these people. And where they're arresting them? Not in D.C.
Nope.
These people are back home in their house.
They got all the way back home. Somebody asked, why weren't they zip tied as they left the Capitol? I mean, they should have been police officers there, zip tying people, putting them on the ground and, arresting them. But, just didn't. It's a different situation, that's all.
Well, police were trying to protect their civil rights. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Well, that's good for them. Good for them. So
we called for Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley to resign also.
I wouldn't mind adding Lindsey Graham in there also.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham should go also. He should follow his own advice that he gave people in 2016 that, this would, we will see, electing Donald Trump would be the worst thing that we ever did.
Reaction to hearing what Donald Trump says.
I'm disgusted. Well, I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you like this guy. I think what you like about him, he appears to be strong when the rest of us are weak. He's a very successful businessman. He's going to make everything great. He's going to take all the problems of the world and put them in a box and make your life better. That's what he's selling. Here's what you're buying. He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. He doesn't represent my party. He doesn't represent the values that the men and women who wear the uniform are fighting for. I've been in the Air Force for 33 years. I retired this June. He's the ISIL Man of the Year.
Destroy the party.
Yeah, it will destroy the party. It will destroy, and we would deserve it. Well,
We certainly hope so.
I think you deserve it. I think you deserve to leave the United States because we already know you've been wrong on several occasions now.
Yep.
You've been wrong. You were wrong on Iraq War. You were wrong on defense. You were wrong on election fraud. I mean, you've been wrong on every single time. Why do we need you?
AJ, you sound a little biased right now. So we did read that he was accosted at the airport.
Yeah.
On a flight. I don't know where he was going, but they were calling him a traitor. And I think conservatives were upset about that.
Well, they were breaking his heart, you know.
Well,
I
I think they said they were thinking it's not PC. You know, it's not PC to call someone a traitor to their face, right?
Oh, they want us to be nice now?
Yeah. You gotta just modulate your language so you can spare his feelings. That's when they want PC, when you tell the truth. So.
Well, they can take their PC and
we'll
put it where
where Mike Pence's head generally is.
Yeah.